let's make it happen, Captain.
Gimme 65 is life. Oh 07. Friday night. I just this evening downloaded the update. Haven't played in a bit since the hotfix came across, but I noticed some hitching is not as noticeable. Feels a little smoothed out. I don't know if it's. I don't know what the server pops are. Oh damn, that's loud. Oh gosh. Freaking annoying. Annoyingly loud. All right. Let's take a look here. Let's make our way. Okay. All right. Okay. Entering nine tails. Oh hell no! I'm not trying to get over to nine tails. Let me get out of here. Hostile territory. Shit. Leaving private property. Yeah, definitely leaving it. Just had repairs done in this ship. Not looking for hostilities in an industrial ship. No. Okay, let's see here. Okay. What am I picking up on radar out here? Hand minables, I believe. Think so. Oh, ships. Ships. Okay. A lot of seems like flashing artifacts or something is going on. Visuals. That close, and maybe it's not picking up what it is. It's probably hand minables. Yeah. Mm. Oh, you know what? I didn't delete cache files. Let me check something real quick. Let me land, and I'm hoping I can just delete the files on the fly. Help clear up those anomalies. Forgot to do that. I don't know if this is going to cause any troubles, but I'm going to go in internally. 07 Fibber. Go in internally and see about let's see, remove those cache files. There's one. Delete that. Done. And I just have a bunch of temp files. Let's see. I'm gonna get rid of those too. Okay. Mm. Let's see here. Yeah, I think I'm good. Yeah, I think I'm good. I'm gonna see what happens. I manually deleted them, temp files as well as cache files after that download. Let's see how it performs. Vexillite. It's a 14K mass. Laranite. Oh, let's see. Laranite. Okay. What do we have here? Okay, there's that one large rock. That's not it. Vexillite. Okay, that's the 14K. Has Vexillite in it. Let's see what happens. So, oh, okay. It's challenging. Okay. Thought it was impossible at first. Here we go. So do we know what's in 4.3? I think it's gonna hit Evo next week. I think it's gonna have any substantial or meaty features, foundational pieces, maybe it's some sort of a version of the flight model or incremental version update. Oops. Backed away too soon. Almost there. Oh. Cooperative missions. Yeah, yeah, it would be nice to see some core features that's coming, like maybe, yeah, the flight model, maybe, probably way too soon for Nyx or some portions of Nyx. What, dynamic rain? Or let me say, what, dynamic, was it snow? But yeah, I think you were mentioning it earlier, Fenrir. Some of the latest features may be a hold off for the Virtual Citizen Con, which they could potentially release at end of year or early, first quarter 2026. Substantial features, maybe base building, some core version of base building. Definitely small bases. And the IAE is going to feature new ships, so I think people will always look forward to that, new ships. I think the main one on that list that definitely can serve a purpose is that the Ironclad. cargo running. It fits very well with, it pairs very well with Nyx, the eventual release of Nyx. At some point, it pairs very well, moving a massive amount of cargo over to Nyx, and you can do it just in zero gravity. That should be fun. Interesting. I, well, I don't think it's going to stay that way, Fenrir. I think, knowing that there's some Evo involved, I think they could add some more things down the line. I think purposely holding off until they know they have to release or get it into the testing branch. So there might be some surprises here and there. I don't think it would stay that way. But if it's not ready, it's not ready. So monthly patches, right? Gives an opportunity to have more robust features, at the end of year. I know there's going to be a gap of holding things off in October. I can see Maelstrom in the mix for CitizenCon, and that could be a release end of year, early first quarter release. But the question is, what all does it touch, or what all does it affect? Maelstrom. Maybe an announcement for repair, proper repair with the Crucible, Vulcan. That would be exciting, I think, because you're beginning to close the loop, the gameplay loop, the circle of life. Damage, destruction, repair. But I think with repair, they should leverage the insurance system with repair, because then insurance will incentivize you to get repairs as opposed to continue to pay high premiums on damaged ships or wait times. But that's wishful thinking. That's something that's what I would love to see, the repair aspect of Star Citizen. But that I don't think that they can properly do it until the Maelstrom system is completely done, and then they can take that and move on to expanding it out to other aspects of the game, which would be the repair. It would touch a lot, though. This is Terranite. Let's see. I don't think this is. That's a 25K rock. I don't have the heat for this one. Yeah, 25K. That's so my limit. Let's see. What is this? There was a gold rock. Oh damn, that's a 34K. I think this is the gold. Nope. The smaller one. Nope. Not even that one. I thought I scoped out gold. Did I? No? Oh, there it is. Easy. Yeah. half of it is gold. But look at the optimal window. A sliver. They say it's easy. Knowing that a lot of these features or the existing features will require polish and whatnot each time a new patch is dropped, why not go ahead and drop some substantial foundational features? You're going to clean it up anyway. Why not clean it up with the foundational parts in it and get it to a state where it needs to be, and you don't have to look back. Well, I mean, you don't have to keep posturing for, okay, it's not ready, it's not ready, it's not ready. Yeah, it may be beyond the reaches of Evocati as far as how it performs. No telling. It says easy. I might cut my losses with this one. But it's half gold though. I want that 49% gold. That's the teaser. Oh damn, I was almost there. Got it that time. That wasn't a bad break. For a sliver, that was pretty damn good, man. Okay. %51% gold. There's a lot of inert in there, but I'll take the 50% of that gold though. It's worth it. %41 gold. I think they've proven that this is the age of the big ships, and you can get numerous ones in game. They've proven that. I think that opens the floodgates for any capital size ship that's not been worked on. Like for example, it's welcoming for the Banu Merchantman. Ironclad is on the way. The Kraken is on the way. Pioneer. What is it? It's the there's another large military capital ship that's been rumored. It's been talked about. Retribution. I don't know. It's can't get quite the name of it, but it's a Retribution. That's the in-game ship that was in Taiwan, correct? Could have been. No, it's another ship. Oh man, it just flashed on me. I'm not gonna look it up. Yeah, but there's a rumor for that ship. not the Retribution. It's a different name. The Javelin. Yeah, it's the Javelin. Yeah, that's rumored. Now you're going to get into capital ship combat. But I think, unlike PvP, it's not. Well, I mean, it's still. Yeah, I mean, technically, you're right. But in the scope of the ship, potato, potato, right? Tomato, tomato. It's still one of those. Wow, look, it can. The system can handle it. That sort of that size, But yeah, I get your point. I digress, but you know what I mean. When you can get that in game and the game plays pretty decently for those scale of ships. Whereas back in the day, you would know when someone was spawning a what is it, the Reclaimer or the Starfarer, I believe. It would just shut the servers down. Not anymore. But now that they're getting the system a little more robust, you're seeing more of these large scale chips, and I think it's going to open up that type of gameplay with multi-crew battle battle stations. Everyone battle stations. But I think now is the time for them to really get into concept of what is that going to look like as far as multi-crew co-op play on these large ships. Engineering is, I think, that's the foundation. Medical security, it can find its own place. You have this substructure for that, but there's the other parts of it too. Like navigation. I think the UI for navigation needs an overhaul that will help out the interaction of multi-crew. The captain's chair, that's another one that's I think is requiring of an update to incorporate multi-crewed gameplay. There's a lot more. Like scanning, communication, that could be a little more in-depth, overhauled somewhat, where you're looking at and examining things, anomalies, and of course, with those larger ships, you're going to have the cartography location, which could be repurposed to militaristic strategies, where you can see the overview of ships around you, and you can actually send command orders, flight patterns, navigation orders to your fighter pilots. To that extent, it would be very interesting. I think it would allow them to do that kind of module, which is derived of makes you think of Arena Commander, but you can make that a console knockoff, or what do you call it, a branch or an extension of Star Citizen, capital or a multi-crew gameplay on consoles, or the next generation of consoles, and through the world of CIG. Oh shoot. World of CIG. Drake Ironclad was supposed to be in the works. Yeah, I think it still is. It's still slated to be a part of Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. But not that. I don't see the Ironclad as capital ship, but definitely large. Oh man, I got a firmware update on my monitor. That's why you didn't see it, but it blinked out, man. Let me update it now. Firmware update. The update will take about 2 minutes. You won't be able to use the screen during the update. Once the update is complete, Odyssey Art will turn itself off and on automatically. Do not turn off the power or unplug the power cord. Yes, sir. When you say, Finmer, when you say customizing their engine for Star Citizen, I mean, is it any different, or is this something unique? Because we know, like Planetary Tech 5, and they're keeping up with Unreal, or they're looking at aspects of Unreal and not copy and pasting, but saying we can come up with our versions of, or they get an inspiration. But yeah, you're right. It's just echoing what's been going on since maybe 3.0, I guess. I think anything prior to 3.0, I think it's more of a, well, we want to give you proof that there is a game, that we're working on it. Well, I can be specific about that. You said they have been customizing their engine for Star Citizen so they can handle what they need it to handle, or what they need it to handle. I think it's just for the masses, because they know over the years it's still here. It's gaining momentum, and once they get these foundational pieces in, I think the allure will be that much more profound in sense of people being more aware, because now the campaign is kind of trickling, but it will officially start soon with, Squadron. So those bits of advertisement will bring people to this game, so they have to be ready, right? And if you have these said features, and what we were kind of talking about with capital ship gameplay, it's going to bring a lot of people. Potentially it will. And so that engine has to, first and foremost, it has to accommodate the MMO standard and probably beyond, because of what we see and what we see in its potential as well. So yeah, the customization, first and foremost, it should be predicated on the masses and handling the draw calls from the volume of people that will, at some point after playing and seeing Squadron 42, will be, in droves and masses of people getting into the game. And I haven't even talked about 1.0 and what that could potentially bring in to the table. So yeah, I think it's customizing specifically for the masses. And of course, the things that we've been looking at, and hopefully we're expecting that it will come soon. 1.0, Planetary Tech 5, dynamic server meshing, to say the least. That's the least of it, right? And I'm sure there's things in play behind the scenes, which they may even reveal at CitizenCon, that there's even more things that they're going to bring to the table to bring out the best of what this alpha can be. And I say that on purpose. They want to get away from alpha. They want to move away from alpha. They want to be beyond alpha. And like you said, Star Citizen. They want that to not just be words, but product. Not the PU or PTU or alpha. It's a lot of moving parts though. In this, I don't think they're gonna stop until they get there. I feel as though I think I know what I'm going to see at Virtual Citizen Con, and then there's this little bit of I just hope they surprise me, and I hope I have some things wrong or some things I haven't taken into account. But I don't know, man. I think with reality and factoring in things relative to what their processes are like and what's priority, I don't see a ton of major things coming for CitizenCon. I think it'll be a smart approach to things, but I think because Squadron 42 is that priority, then some things have to be scaled back for the Virtual CitizenCon, unless they totally surprise me and really have a lot in store as a reveal of what we may see. This October at some point, but that does take a lot of pressure off the fan base too. Putting that investment in hotel accommodations and travel, that takes a lot of pressure off of people, and as well as takes pressure off for CIG as well. It's fun, but it's a pressure cooker, man. But I think that was a smart move, because when you're talking about CitizenCon and then you're announcing potentially Squadron 42, can you imagine having a CitizenCon event and then you have to double down and get ready for a Squadron 42 release, and then the post-release of maybe potentially hot fixing things? That's super stressful, and I think that's where it's where you have to draw the line of what's capable. What's going on, Scuba Steve? Captain Steve? It's I think it's a reality of the reality of the expectations and what's possible. But then again, here's the thing though. Do they not have like 1,000 people or so? And I think I don't know what the situation. I'm trying to figure out the situation. I'm talking about the situation. I'm discussing it. It can always get better, Scuba. The situation can always get better. Yeah, but I just say, there's a lot riding on Squadron 42 release. Just the release alone, getting it out the door, that alone is just one thing, and then getting it out the door and it's polished is another, and then having teams ready to support any weird anomaly or bugs as soon as it releases, and potential hot fixes coming down the pipeline. So it's all hands on deck. So can you imagine them doing an in-person CitizenCon, and then it's all hands on deck preparation of if there's any bugs post Squadron 42. So yeah, this makes all the sense in the world. People will lament about, hey, we don't get to hang out as a community. We were expecting it to be Austin or whatever the case, or Montreal. You can table that, man, until they get Squadron 42 out the door proper. They'll have many bar citizens. I think what you're going to see is if Squadron 42 is a successful release, I think you're going to see a lot of people or staff going on tour and showing up at these bar citizens. You'll probably see a more hyphened bar citizen experience because of the fact that they skipped out on the actual in-person to get ready for Squadron 42. So yeah, I could see that as a reactionary of, hey, we did the right thing. The crowd responded and said we did the right thing. Now, part of the celebration is we're all get out, boots on the ground, and get to those locations and celebrate the release, the success, and then also the doubling down towards of 1.0. I think that's another thing too. They're gonna double down. If you have a successful Squadron 42 release, you're gonna have the momentum. You'll be able to carry that momentum into the 1.0 initiative, and so they're gonna start the advertising for that. I can see that if we're good on that Squadron 42 initiative. It would be hard. It wouldn't make sense otherwise. I mean, it's just natural. It's just that momentum, and they're going to carry over into 1.0 with the success of Squadron 42. Fingers crossed, prayers up. Whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to do in that regard. It's just a lot of people have a lot of invested in the success of Squadron 42. Some will say, no, your bread and butter is in the MMO. One is a catalyst for the other. It can't be denied. That cannot be denied. One is a domino effect for the other. And you know what the domino is, or the ripple effect. Not hard to figure out. You do well with Squadron 42, it helps bring even more attention to Persistent Universe on the road to 1.0. No one's flying to Canada. I don't know, man. Benoit pulls off this dynamic server meshing and get this thing up to a level where it is truly an MMO. You might be seeing a lot of people on that booking that flight to give a congratulations to him. Facts. They're like, dude, I gotta congratulate you in person. You made it work. Book that flight. Okay, he was there. Freedom. Okay. Yeah, he's I have my eye on him. It's interesting to see what the next few months is going to be like for the gaming experience, because we know he's going to be a part of that CitizenCon event too, first and foremost. So he's probably got some cool things in store, but I think it won't be going too far off the rails. I think it's more of a reinforcement of what we're expecting and how close is it, or just being able to see further iteration, further development of it, so that it looks promising, that it's to a point where we're going to see that really soon. It's going to be released to us sooner than later. I think that's the impression that they're going to go for. Things that are manageable as opposed to, hey, that's 3 or 4 years out. We don't have that kind of time to be thinking we're okay with that. I think it's more of a, hey, that's tangible, that's doable. I'm ready to go with that. I'm ready for that. Well, it's yeah, you got to provide something, because if it was those features, or some of at least 2 to 3 of those features that I mentioned, they would have definitely used that as a means to really um, get get a lot of attention to the game. Um, and again, they have to create something. And yeah, we definitely, I agree. It's always great to have the foundational pieces in. '07 Vickers is always great for that, but it's not ready. That's the thing. It's not ready. It's not even ready for Evocati, because I don't think they're ready to show the state of it. But here's the other part too. Let's say that they are close to getting it ready. Maybe that's some of the meat and potatoes they need for the event, or the virtual event. And Chris was like, will probably say, yeah, I wouldn't mind that, but what are we going to have in the place of CitizenCon that will be just as good as this? Probably, I don't know. That's just something questionable, I would say, as the reason to why we may not see it right away or sooner. That might table it for CitizenCon, and so when we see it, they have more time to really get it closer to a release. So I guess the perfect scenario would be show it off at CitizenCon, and then make an announcement of when it's coming. And I know that's the worst thing we could. That's not the good things we've been, the wins, and a lot of us frown on that. But an estimated close release date would suffice, especially if you see that it's more so it's developed, and at least you can get it into PTU or Tech Preview channel. I say that about the new area, Nix. I think that's a candidate for. They've already hinted to it. It's not a mystery. Planetary Tech 5 is going to carry it, so you're going to see some really cool stuff, artwork, improved artwork, and I think once they see, or hopefully they see that it plays very nicely, it plays well. I think you'll see that quick migration from 4.0 to 5.0. I think they will announce that as an initiative for next year. Maybe, and hopefully the next 6 months of 2026 will get the entire system in, or less, because they talked about that with Planetary Tech 4, how they were able to migrate in like 60 days roughly. So yeah, it's all dependent on if Nix plays very well and it's acceptable. They might even bring it into the live branch sooner than later. I could see them doing that if things work out smoothly. And that feeds the hype machine too. People will get, the morale will go up. But I think it's perfect for cargo. Nix is perfect for cargo runners. Not having to go into the station, not having to dock. You're right there on the grid. Probably you have to call for the grid to get access, but I think from the demo it had an actual person interacting with the zero gravity grid system, and they were using their tractor beam to connect the components, or the cargo boxes actually. I thought that was so cool though. And I just said to myself, they just have to have more of those kind of stations as an option. Zero G, cargo grids, you just drop off and keep it moving, man. I think when we expand, you need that kind of, I don't got time to come in here and see, run around and get, to get things done. You're like, no, I'm just here to drop off stuff. I don't have to go through the system of, I think that helps alleviate the tram system, the ATC system. I think that's a great solution to that. Having a hybrid system, you just drop things off. The Mist Hull series would love that too. Yeah, it's they're not going to get away from that, scuba. Just they're going to keep going for it. They're going to keep going for it, and eventually they're going to get it right. But I think a lot of it has to do with the system's not ready to accommodate those levels of instancing. They're trying, but yeah, it could definitely need dynamic server meshing to help or to assist, right? And probably some other things that they're working on they're not ready to reveal. I just want my wing commander, man. When you say wing commander, that you're talking about the Squadron 42. You're talking about celebrating, or both. Is it Nix and Squadron 42, Captain Steve? Oh yeah, yeah. I can immerse myself in it. I see me really just, yeah. You probably won't see me streaming for a bit, man. I'll be out of pocket. Well, I'll take breaks. I'll get through some events, and then I'll get to a save point, and then I'll just get back into the PU to see, hey, what's up? No spoilers here. I don't want to hear about it. I'm not talking about it. I am not watching somebody else play Squadron 42. I'm sorry. No, not sorry. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not. And I'm not going to freak out about spoilers, but I'm not going to try to hear it about it. I want to just, and I think what I'll do to play it smart is keep out of the ears in conversation about that, that process or the stages of the game, the processes of the game. I'm going to purposely keep myself out of that mix of those conversations so I can have those surprises and see the story unfold for myself. I want to see the story unfold, and I want to be surprised and, overwhelmed with emotions about it or feel a certain way because I didn't see it coming.
Accounts contact management. Thank you.
Meaning, the briefing room, the little war room. I think they have a potential for a classic if it plays well. The visuals, the visuals are at the forefront. You can't deny those visuals. You can come with something decent and still it'll have a good fanfare. Okay, what are you gonna change it to? Captain Steve? Yeah, I would say Captain Steve. Captain Steve, are you going to, when Squadron 42 releases, are you going to stream it? I feel as though you're going to stream it. And I don't begrudge anybody. Yeah, I don't begrudge anybody who want to share that experience. And it's some people who are watching or just on console, or they don't have the time. That is what it is in certain occasions. So it's a forum for them to say, holy smokes, I want to get a computer now. I want to buy a computer. Oh, the first run. You're talking about you're going to play it solo and then you come back and you do it and you're going to, well, I think with that said, it made me think about you play it on maxed difficulty by yourself, and because I think it's an incentive, or I wonder if that still is a thing. And then once you've completed it, maybe you go back and maybe you can alter, do some different situations in conversation with a slight different income. Because I'm thinking that's going to be in the game, and you don't have to set it to the highest or the most complex difficulty, and then just have people look at it and say, "Hey, look at that." Advertising the game. Yeah, I think watching it over, and it could fall in the ranks of, you know how it is with good movies. You see it again and you miss, and then you realize you miss some things. I think it's no different with this. It's a heavy cinematic that's part of it. Serious cinematic, which is, I think, very cool to see how it plays out. I don't like that sound. That's annoying as hell. Hold on. But yep, it's kind of like it could definitely fall in what is it, Commander Shepard? What game is that? Mass Effect. Yeah, you're gonna get those Mass Effect vibes. Yep, you're gonna get those vibes. But it's Chris's spin. It's the successor to, for sure, Wing Commander. He probably would have used it if he could, if it wasn't for legalities behind that. EA owning it. They're like, nah, we're not gonna give up on this trademark because we know you want it. It's just the fact that it's of value to you, so we're gonna deny you that. This is crazy. Now the thing is, they'll probably think about it after, if Squadron 42 is a massive success, they'll think about that then and say, damn it, I should have worked with them. EA. Is that EA who has the rights to it, I think? Or is it wasn't Origin. Origin was taken over by EA, I believe. Yeah, Electronic Arts. What happened, man? Electronic Arts back in the day used to be a good company, man. I'm not slandering nothing. I'm not slandering nobody. I'm just saying it was a household name, man. And it was some sort of passion with it. They were very unique, man. Hold on, it's a lot of asteroids out here, man. But they were unique, man. It was just how they did this. It was a passionate company. But it was because Trip Hawkins was there. That's why Trip kept it nice. But it just went public, man. I mean, it's just super corporate, and it was just, I don't know, man. It just, things went different. Things became very different with EA. But they were just, every time you turn around, they would have a hit. And I think they would it be fair to say they became a victim of their own success? I think that's the hook right there. You become a victim of your own success. I think that is it. I nailed it. Sometimes you get so big as a company, the passion is lost. You lose passion. And I think you can still be a big company, but if you don't have the right person at its head, which Trip Hawkins was decent. I think with him, the EA became self-aware, its own entity, and it was D-Day for him. And I think that's what sparked him on to try, to go and start it all over with the 3DO. Remember that? I think it was $300 at that time. That was a lot of money. But the graphics were like next level. but it was expensive. The 3DO. And that was Trip Hawkins' baby, and I think he priced himself out of business. He was too. He wanted to go to hit a certain clientele, you know, and people weren't having it because they had Nintendo and all that stuff. It was like the best version of an indie game. The graphics weren't great, but the passion was there, man. They definitely had that passion going on. Inspirational too. And Nintendo was just fun. When Mario came out and Duck Hunt, Zelda, and it was a wrap. 3DO had no, they were done. Wait a minute. Yeah, well, they were competitors. They were both around. They were getting their money, both of them. But I saw that story when Trip Hawkins, he made Madden football. Yeah, things can definitely go off the rails. If there's no, when you get so big, checks and balances fall to the wayside. And then you just bringing in numbers, you know, masses of people who don't have the same care or vision or not. No, you need different visions. I think it was a lack of passion. They were bringing in the wrong people because it was so many. The chances are you're going to bring in the wrong people. And then the agendas totally change. Totally different agendas. But I know one thing was pissing people off was that DLC stuff. They got them in trouble with a lot of good games potentially. People just, nope, sorry, not gonna keep playing that. Greed, man. Yep. Load it and overload it. Time for change, man. Let's see here. I mean, you know, going back to the events and just 4-2 and them going for it, I kind of think, man, they cooked those patches a lot, and me personally, my opinion was like, okay, it got me a little excited because I'm really expecting to see those dividends pay off with, you know, the polishing and stability fixes. And now I'm more or less like this. I'm like, hey, can we get more features dropped? That's the structure for the game itself, and see if you can work it out or to get it stable, because I don't see that much. I would say it wouldn't make much difference, would it? Because at least you have the parts that are in are the parts that will be a part of the next evolutionary leap to get this into an MMO. And I'm just like, I'm totally okay. You drop it in and it doesn't work right. I'm fine with you know, hot fixing and bringing 0.1, 0.2 patches to it. I would feel good about knowing, I'd feel good knowing that we don't have to look and wonder when is repair coming. As an example, or Planetary Tech 5, you know, there's nothing. You know, it's in, and you say at least it's in, and then everything can get better from that point. But you're saying you're doing these scrubs and you're doing this stability fix, and then the patch comes out and it's like, okay, what we got here? A tale of it was that my analogy is the tale of two cities. I'm thinking, man, this is gonna be good. It's gonna be good, and no, it's not. I was on the fence about those missions too, because it's like from what I'm hearing, which I can trust my sources, you got to grind for some of those things, and I'm like, I can't put that time into it like that. Not right now. But yeah. At least you have the major parts in, and it can only go up from there. I am not getting any signals. Let's see. Oh, picked up something. There we go. See what this is. Yeah, I think the next Wednesday should be a roadmap update. So they may be ready to throw something new. Oh, thank you for the follow, sir. LoJack 1121. Thank you for the follow, sir. All right. Felsic. What's in it? Hopefully something. Burl. Inert material. No, man. That's not going to work for me. Tungsten. But yeah, I was saying I'm not going to be pressured to do the mission, man, because it's. And I think they did say that they'll extend it as a courtesy. 07 LoJack. You play LoJack. You play Star Citizen. You heard of it? I'm thinking you have played it. What's your thoughts on it? How long you been backing? Oh yeah. What's your go-to? Or can you are you cargo running? You bounty hunter? You pirate? Yeah, I said pirate. Connie, okay. Okay, oh wow, man, the passion is fresh, man. That's pretty cool. You came in, I think 318 was not exactly a great time to come in because they were doing some new things, but once we got past 318, so you did experience 321 and yeah, so it's been some good times. Yeah, they were making some major changes with 318. So Constellation, wait a minute, there's now, is it, I'm gonna assume that it's the constellation Andromeda, but you have the Aquila, which is your exploration version. You have your Taurus. Oh my gosh, he's already in the Chairman Club. Holy smokes. Andromeda, yeah, that's the original, man. That's the OG. Now you know the difference, but do you know the difference between the Andromeda and the Aquila series? Okay, cool. I still say what I like about the Aquila is that cockpit, that panoramic cockpit. It's clean, man. And with the Aquila, I think it's more of, you get your bang. It's more of a bang for the buck because you get the Ursa rover, you get the P-52 Merlin, right? And I think with the Andromeda, you get the P-52 Merlin, and I think that's it. You get the Merlin, but you don't get you don't get the Ursa rover. With the Aquila, you get the Ursa rover. You want those? Yeah. Okay. Yep. I totally get it. I need those missiles, man, because it's virtual life or death for me in this game. I totally get it. Nothing wrong with that, man. There's no judging. And I mean, and it's just when it comes down to ships and people tell you this, that, and the other, you just use it as information. At the end of the day, you are the one who make that purchase. You're the one who have to fly that ship. And so, yeah. So all statements are valid because it means that you're interested in the game, and you can visualize what's fun. You understand what's fun for you. In other words, those missiles will ensure that if you need to get somewhere or the next jump point with your cargo, those missiles are going to ensure that you do get to where you need to get to. Yeah, you can solo that's one of the things I like about the Connie and its variants. I mean, there's you get the Phoenix, which is the luxury. Their take on the Origin ship, their closest rendition of it, or copy knockoff. What do you call it? It's the luxury ship. And then you have the Taurus. It's decent. It has the extra cargo room. But I think for me, the two that does it for me is Andromeda and the Aquila. And definitely the Andromeda is definitely, they do call that the gunboat. But you can solo that thing, but you can also bring in crew members. So, and then you know where everything is. It's not so small that it feels cramped, but it's just enough that you can manage it. If your crew members get hurt or killed, or they're unable to assist you, you can handle it yourself. That's what I like about it. But I think the thing that pulled me into getting the Andromeda, like my very first ship, Chris mentioned that's his vision of, or his take on the Millennium Falcon. I said, oh, I gotta have that. I love the Millennium Falcon. And then fast forward, they had a developer there who created the Mercury Star Run. I said, no, to me that screams Millennium Falcon. But it did not take anything away from the Connie. For me, it didn't. But yeah, those capital ships, I was just talking about that earlier. You make the gameplay for those ships. Yeah, people play that all day. Different scenarios, different outcomes, and they're like, they get killed, they jump right back in. They're right back where they started from. challenging. Okay, that's got Vexilite in it. So essentially, your cargo running and making your money that way. What's your second best ship? Oh, I busted that. That's not gonna. Okay, maybe I. Okay, here we go. Take it easy. I don't want it to spike. Okay, approaching optimal window. And as soon as it reaches there, and dial it back a little bit. Oh, a lot. The blowback wasn't bad. So the Asgard. Yeah, the design is nice. I ended up liking I was torn between that and the Star Lancer TAC. I got caught up between the two, and I'm like, holy smokes, man. But I think the TAC for me, I think it has that little more versatility to it. So I ended up going with the Star Lancer TAC. But yeah, the design for the Asgard is funky. I totally dig it. It's nice, man. I think it's a nice cousin to the what is it? The Valkyrie. Yep. That was the it's. Wait a minute. I think that was the very first ship that was. It was a concept and it was flyable the same day. I think that was the very first one that they ever did like that. I think that the one after that would have been I think the Cutter was like that. They did sneak peeks on it, but when they released it, it was flyable. It was flyable when it was released. And that's another little ship that's been super popular, man. I mean, I remember when the Cutter was introduced, they were sending out teasers and people were like, okay, what's the size of it, man? That thing is going to be X long. It's going to be the size of a constellation or something, or maybe a little bigger. And they were just, the hype machine was running. And then it showed as this little camper ship. It's like, what? But they was like, wait a minute, I kind of like that. People were like, give me 4 of them. Give me 4 of those things, man. And they were buying them and just getting them like they were sliced pieces of sliced bread, man. It was a very successful sale. And then they started bringing out variants, and people they were buying them still. Either you collected them, or they were also little tokens, LTI tokens for other things they wanted, community wanted to buy or use that as a means for LTI, lifetime insurance. But yeah, people like the Cutter. It was fun. It's a fun little ship, and it keeps you under the radar too. It has a bed in it. But yeah, I think they're poised to do. You talk about money. I think it's at this point with CIG, getting to a point where they can self-sustain themselves, like have their own infrastructure and have themselves established. I think they need the Squadron 42 to help them get there. And then it's just like those other games like WoW, World of Warcraft, all those other prominent games that are out there. I think they can get out there and do the same thing. But we need a for this what we're playing. We need something that's going to hold up. But definitely right now it's just growing pains for them, all of us. But that's one thing. That's one constant, is that it's moving forward. And it might look a little rough sometimes when they release a patch, but ultimately it's about moving forward. I think they're doing it. But to really take advantage of that potential in the best way, they'll be okay. All right. Get some of that Quantanium off the ship. There we go. Look at those rocks working, man. But yeah, I've seen some videos out there that, I think another ship is going to be really effective with what's existing in regards to mining. The Expanse, man. If they can come up with the Expanse and you can refine rocks right on the spot. Wow, that's good stuff. You don't have to go back to those stations. It'll take some value away from those stations. Unless you add some manual interaction and input where it's a mini game for the refining process with the ship, so you may not refine them with 100% accuracy, right? You need to put that in the gameplay loop for the Expanse. Trying to get there, man. Yeah, I'm gonna be excited to see the changes with the flight, how we, combat, fly the ship. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to see it. All right, get to the station. Well, I'm gonna tuck this thing down because if I linger too long, that countdown start messing with me. Okay, let's see here. Store. All right. To the station.
Hazmat team to head down to the subdeck. We got a chem spill.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna go with the Dynex solventation. All right. Confirming. All right, 2 in the hopper. Chat, I'm gonna get up early. I'm gonna get some rest. I'm on fumes, but I'm gonna get in early and get some things done tomorrow with these ops. I don't think I'm gonna do the missions. I don't know. If you guys want to do co-op, you probably can talk me into it. Specifically, the PvP part. But I'm gonna get some rest. But I'll be up early in the morning to continue this. It's the weekend now. 07s, everybody. I will catch up with you all soon. I wanted to get in and see what it plays like. I'm getting decent frames though, but I don't know. Well, I'm gonna get that rest, get back in here in the morning and fire up this thing, man. 07s, y'all.
It's about that bottom line, baby.